You were not born with a smoke in your hand, nor were you born with the ability to smoke or the necessity to smoke. Therefore, it is something that you have learned as life's gone on. So sometime between your birth and now, you've picked up a cigarette for the first time, and it has become a habit. And it wouldn't have been tasting very nice, smelling very nice, feeling very nice when you first had your first cigarette, but somehow you were motivated enough to push through all those feelings and sacrifice some of your pay, some of the money that you get each week, to buying your own packet. And then you became a smoker. Okay. And I wonder whether it's just the act of buying cigarettes that ensures that you will smoke. Or if you don't buy cigarettes, will you still keep smoking? Will you borrow a smoke out of someone else's packet? Or will you say, well, I don't have any more of my own, so I'm not going to smoke? Or will you be busting back down the shops to buy some more? So maybe ask yourself that question. Because for some people, just the mere act of stopping buying them anymore will mean that they don't smoke. It's like, okay, I don't have them with me. I don't smoke anymore. And that could work. On the other hand, it's that failing to plan for quitting smoking that will send you down the shops quickly. So saying to yourself, oh, I'm just going to see how I go. I'm not going to buy any today. I'm not going to have any today. And starting out with that mentality, but then working out that, oh, I've actually gone down the shop and come back and I haven't even realised what I've done. Because it's that automatic. Because you haven't really made the mental shift to stop smoking. It's more of a behavioural thing. Okay, well, if I don't buy the smokes, I don't have the smokes, I can't smoke. But the behavioural thing is also going to the shops and buying more. And thereby keeping the addiction going. So it's a theory of mine that people smoke because of one of 5 or 6 main reasons. First one is choice. So they either choose to smoke or they choose not to smoke. Then there's habit. It's just the habit of smoking. So the habit of having certain times in your day when you are smoking. And you run your day being mindful of nothing, just running on autopilot. And you say, okay, well, it's first thing in the morning, I'm going to have a smoke. Okay, and I'm going to have a coffee and I'll have a smoke. And I'll get to work and I'll have a cigarette. If I'm lucky, I'll have another cigarette before work actually starts. And then it goes on and on throughout the whole day until you find the last one before bed. It's like, okay, you have to make a decision. I'm having this last smoke and then I'm going to bed. Because if you don't decide that, you're probably going to get up and have your last smoke. It's got to be a decision that it's the last smoke. So that's a habit. The next one is nicotine. So just being addicted to the intake of nicotine and going out of your way to get it and feeling very nicotine dependent. So feeling like you can't live without nicotine and feeling like you're very agitated and need to calm down, and the only way to become calmer is to actually get some more nicotine. But the agitation is not so much needing to top up on the nicotine, but it's that feeling of I need to have another smoke, and once I've had my smoke, I'll calm down. And it's my theory that in a lot of cases, the act of going for a cigarette without actually smoking could go a long way towards you feeling calmer and more in control and more relaxed. So yes, you can still go where you normally go for a cigarette at the same times, but you just don't smoke. So walk outside, sit down like you normally would, use a straw if you really want to, or go for a walk, or do some deep breathing. These exercises can actually, you can experiment with them to see if it's the lighting up of the cigarette that causes the satisfaction, or is it just the taking time out of your day to go outside and to breathe rather than just keep working. Like smoking definitely gives you the chance to go outside and just take a break. Choice is about your decision to smoke or not smoke. So you might think to yourself, I can't give up, so I'm going to choose to smoke. I'll choose it as though it's not so much something that I can't do, it's something that I choose to do. And the other part of choice is feeling like you could give up any time. And it's so easy for you to give up, but you just don't want to. And so you choose to keep smoking. And it's just a self-fulfilling lie and prophecy that you don't want to give up because you can't. So many people find that smoking is not sustainable. It's too expensive. It's causing health problems. It is on people's conscience. They don't want to smoke. They don't want to have the guilt about potentially not being around for their children, for their grandchildren, for their husband or wife, or their parents. And it's something that people know they shouldn't do because they've seen all the warnings and they've heard about people who have either died from some smoking related illness, or they've heard about people that have very long-term illnesses that are extremely difficult to manage, like emphysema or lung cancer, or having a part of your body removed, such as your voice box, or having cancer of the esophagus or something like that, where you still keep living, but your quality of life has gone really down because you're no longer free and you're dependent upon people for your daily life. So there is always that at the back of their minds, so they know they need to give up. And every time they smoke, they sort of push it out of their mind and ignore all the warnings and think, oh, it won't happen to me, or I'm too young. But there's a huge burden placed upon the conscience. And that burden just doesn't go away. It's like, on top of that, you've got this sort of self-loathing because you don't give up even though you want to. And so you're literally in conflict with yourself, thinking, I should give up, but I can't give up. So therefore I'm going to feel really guilty and bad about this, and I'm going to be forever in conflict with myself. So I do have a little quiz to determine your beliefs about smoking, and I really encourage you to do it, because I think if you can, look, if you knew the real reason why you smoke, then you would know how to give up. Because if it's a choice that you're making and you know the real reason why you do it, then by default you could give up. But my theory is that you think you know why you smoke. You might be telling yourself all these things, but the real reason is actually quite deep within your subconscious. And somewhere along the line, you have latched onto something that has been a compelling enough reason to keep smoking, even though it tastes terrible. It's expensive. It smells terrible. Makes you cough. Makes your clothes stink. Makes your breath stink. Gives you brown teeth and brown lungs. It makes the walls stain if you're smoking inside. There's not a lot of good things to them. So it is worthwhile giving up, and it is worthwhile getting to the real reason why you smoke and understanding that. And you may not even know it consciously, but there'll be some changes in the subconscious, and they'll be enough to change your behavior, because you'll suddenly understand why it's been important for you. And if you know why you're doing it, then you can easily stop smoking. And many people have done this before. And many people have tried different methods and found that there's a lot of disappointment and relapsing and starting again. And each time you relapse, it's harder the next time because you don't believe that you can do it. And the fact that you keep smoking after you've said you're going to quit is more evidence that you're not very good at quitting. But in reality, you just don't really understand why you smoke. And whatever happens, I really want you to stop smoking somehow. Just stop buying them, stop lighting up, stop inhaling them, stop walking around having them, and stop being at the front of the building having one. Don't smoke in your car or around children. So whether you come to see me or not to give up smoking, I really wish you all the best. And please value and consider yourself, because you're definitely worth you giving up smoking.